Literally, my food bag yesterday was Sour Patch Kids, freeze-dried chocolate chip ice cream sandwich,
Hot cocoa.
chewy bar. I did have a protein bar in there, but I think that had some sugar in it. Mixed berry crisp. Some little gummies, yummies. Some fruit snacks.
It's just a kid.
There was something else that was just candy. It tasted great, but I was kind of angry about it.
Yeah, you came back to camp not happy that you just ate sugar all day.
I was not happy about the Bears.
The bear situation. Well, Travis, can you tell us about our podcast location?
So we searched far and wide for a riverside big cedar spot, and we just hit the jackpot. We've got these 100-plus-year-old cedars.
Megalodon cedars, dude. That one splits like 4 times up there. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, crazy. Yeah.
And then we've got the creek behind us that we're going to go rip some lips.
I'm excited for that. I think we can guarantee we'll catch fish. We can't guarantee we'll catch bears.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, so beautiful podcast location. We're still mid-late hunt. I think we're done backpack hunting. Yeah?
We're done backpack hunting. Maybe done hunting. Not sure yet.
Yeah, depending on how good the fishing is, it might just keep us stuck to the water. Depending.
We pretty much have to film fishing now.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Depending on how fast or good that goes, we may or may not be bear hunting.
Yeah, it's been a trying hunt as far as finding bears. Killing bears has not happened because finding them's been hard. It's been hot. It's the rut. There's green everywhere. All the places that you would find them a month ago, they're not there.
You're fighting over territory with the baiters. So you have to get away from wherever you think people are baiting bears. And then, dealing with green up. And, since I'm filming this, I am the professional on spring bear hunts. So, hard to find enough country to glass that you might be able to see a bear, but also put yourself in a spot to shoot that bear. Because we're able to see, we had one night we had able to see bears, but they're all in spots too far away to get to, and they literally moved through and...
There's been no hanging out eating on open hillsides. Mm-hmm. It's been moving through them very quickly. Even the sow and cubs, both sows and cubs, I feel like just moved through it back into thick stuff. It's been a challenge. As far as that side goes, it's been a challenge. It's been mentally, I feel like we've been diligent. Yesterday we were all extremely diligent. It was almost 14 hours, I believe, from the time we started glassing till dark. And yeah, Zach went up on his own on the far ridge and glassed the next basin over. Trav and I stayed in the basin we were camped in and glassed it all day. Dropped down one time to get water. Saw 0 bear sign. Zach dropped down to grab water on his side. 0 bear sign. Yeah, it's a challenge. It was a challenging hunt.
We found out that bull elk exists. We saw one.
That got us so excited. At that point, it had been about 12 and a half hours of glassing, nothing.
Yeah.
And that guy came out and we were jacked.
We were like, ooh.
We got phone scope footage. You got the 1-400 on it.
And it followed the perfect path for if it was a bear and we wanted to shoot it. But it wasn't. And then later we got a little more eye candy with the white-tailed buck.
Yep. Wild country. It's whitetails everywhere. They're taking over.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking over all the habitat.
Yep.
Zach saw what we saw plus a doe, I think. Yeah.
I called a doe into like 10 yards.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say about it, honestly. Just don't go bear hunting in June.
Yeah, it's a learning lesson for sure. It's interesting because your tactics that work at one time of the year just don't work in other times. And it's like, yeah, it's been trying as far as that's concerned, as far as the bear hunting. backpacking. Like if we were on a backpack trip, it was great.
Yeah.
We had a good time. Built some fires. Zach hauled some meat in, cooked it over the fire.
Yep. Mule
Couple
deer
days.
steaks, brats.
Yep, that was rad.
Try to take some real food in when you're backpack hunting too much.
Yeah, we covered a lot of miles, possibly more miles than we should have. But it's just tough to know. It's tough to know what the right decision is when it's not going the way that you anticipated. And so we probably default to working harder often, I would say. And a lot of times that turns into putting in miles. And so it's like, oh, let's go check this spot. Let's check this spot. Where maybe boring patience would be the right move. But I don't know. I don't even know if that would work.
It
Yeah.
would. I'm just trying to find the right areas to hunt, honestly. Because, yeah, you're competing with people baiting, which draws bears out of certain areas. And then just because you're up high on the green up in June doesn't mean anything because boars are rutting. And so bear movements can change and they don't need to be up there for any reason, realistically. So then, yeah, you're just trying to find country to see bears in, which out here is not easy. And Google Earth is, as we all know, sometimes what looks good on Google Earth doesn't look good in person. And we tried calling, saw some mega bear poops.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I probably called at least a dozen sets. Nothing. Just the one white-tailed doe came storming in yesterday.
Well, you did a dozen
So-
yesterday?
No.
Or in total?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, in really good spots. I thought for sure that one when we were hiking out 2 days ago, that giant fresh, I think it was the freshest bear poop we saw.
Mhm.
I thought for sure we'd get something in that little north facing drainage there. It was so juicy looking. And yeah.
Yeah. So, 8 minutes in, that's the podcast.
Yeah. You might hear a little bit of defeatedness in our voice. It's not. It's just like we're
What do you
we're
mean?
figuring
It is.
things. Yeah, it's not like I don't think we are ever defeated.
Sometimes you get your butt kicked, and that's okay.
Yeah, but my point is that I don't think it just like sets us back to the drawing board to think harder, figure out better. I don't know.
Yeah, it's for sure a timing thing. Like we could have came across a bear in the perfect clearing and had another opportunity, but it's just there's no reason for a bear to come out in those clearings unless they're just traveling through it.
Yep.
So it just limits. I mean, you think about other times of the year, like even in the fall, how many bears do you see? You see like a very small fraction of what you typically see on green up in the spring. So we're kind of hitting that phase where it's just super green. None of the berries have come in yet. So it's like a weird in between. And then, it's the bear rut. So boars should be moving, looking for sows, or they got them pinned down somewhere by a bait site.
And Zach had a really good analogy yesterday about like in the middle of September, you're not going to find a big old bull elk just up feeding, hanging out on an open hillside. He's out rutting cows, right? And that's the same thing. Or I didn't really think that way until you said that analogy. Boars aren't just going to be up on a hillside feeding, waiting for us to make a move on them. They're down chasing sows. They're looking for sows. They've already fattened up. They've eaten plenty, probably already this year. Now they're focused on the sows, and so it's tough. This middle of June, I probably won't hunt bears again. Middle of June.
Not by choice.
No.
The weather's been heinous for bear hunting. Like hot.
Yeah.
It was 80 degrees on my Kestrel where I was glassing yesterday.
Wow.
Up on the mountain.
Yeah.
And
That's
the only real
So
rain
good.
we had was a little bit at night, one night. And then the day we shot the last podcast.
Yep.
Or the day, right?
Yeah, right
The
in
night.
the morning, just
Yeah.
a little bit.
And since that last podcast, if you listen to the first one, we went in, whatever. Zach shot a bear that we couldn't find because it was slightly high. We moved locations twice, and we went 3 days deep. We were like, 8-9 miles
Yeah.
in.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
at the furthest we're 9-ish.
9, yeah.
9 miles in. Did 3 days there. That's where we've probably seen the most sign. But again, we literally are walking through clearings because it's kind of this valley of clearings mixed with timber, but you can never see the other clearing from any other spot. So we were basically working through all these clearings trying to call because that was the only way to hunt it. And we saw bear poop in there, but no responses. But there's probably like over 100 clearings back in there.
Yeah.
Little,
There's definitely some giant bears back there somewhere.
yeah, we saw some gigantic poops. And then we did a mission out of there to try to go find a country we could glass a little bit better and still be in a position to shoot. And that's where the last location was. And it looked good.
It looked really good.
Really
man.
good.
Yeah.
It's just we sat at 2 evenings, well, an evening and a full day, plus looked at this morning. No bears. No bear sign.
Yeah. It'd be one thing if you're like had some bear sign on the trail or like in the meadows grabbing water. There was nothing.
Nothing at all.
Makes it real hard to sit on a glassing knob for 15 hours a day and
Yep.
try to be diligent, especially when there's no other animals to look at. Holy smokes. Didn't even see one moose.
Yeah.
Saw
Crazy.
2 elk, 10 whitetail,
Yep.
8 bears.
Yeah. 8 hard days of hunting. Hard days of hunting.
So yeah, we're on cloud 9.
Yeah.
So, on a trip like this, you know, we haven't killed any bears. How do you guys, in your mind, how do you make it still feel like a success? Does it feel like wasted time, or does it
We're
feel
going
like
fishing. That's how we make it feel like a success.
Dude, for me, so like, this feels like success. Like yesterday, you and I were together glassing, and we just kind of detoured. It's like, oh, we're not going to have this epic bear hunting film, but we can turn it into a bunch of helpful content for our viewers, our partners. We filmed tarp setup. We filmed. We pack dump. Your tent, my tent. Like we just kind of turned it into. Like, what can we get out of it? The thing that I have to go back on is my hunting foundations was in California, and I try and keep that in mind on a hunt like this. We would spend all season and not see a legal deer, and hunt hard and like grind in the mountains. And it was hot like this. California, just Southern California, we're hunting kind of out the mountains, out of the high desert. Man, it was just. And it was back then that I had to figure out what the heck am I doing this for, because it's certainly not for killing a bunch of deer, right? And I like grew up, we were deer hunters, but it just the game numbers weren't there, and so that's, you'll hear me talk a lot about the adventure of it. The camaraderie is very important to me. The little stupid gear things, using I like to use my tent. I'm obsessed with stoves for whatever reason. I like using my stove. I like making ramen, and it's those little silly things that I value, that it's a success. I like looking at my Onyx, and I put a bunch of new pins on there. Pins I probably won't go back to. But it's cool to, like, you know, when you have like prospect pins on your maps, and then you have pins you've been to, and it's cool to have new pins. And like, I feel blessed that I get to spend 10 days away from my family and work and be out here hunting. So again, I try and keep that perspective and a positive attitude when things are not going to our plan, goals, whatever it is, right? And trying to I try and redefine success maybe in my mind to stay positive.
Yeah. And just trying to have a good mindset and enjoy the little things of being out there. And we haven't had service now in 8 days.
Yeah.
And we're probably like 3 hours from the nearest location of getting any sort of service. So we're like 100% relying on pre-scouting which we probably undershot a little bit. Looking at it now, everything looked good initially, but we needed to maybe look at a little bit finer details of some things that would have been maybe helpful. We can't access like 3D maps or Google Maps to be like, oh, we kind of know like what to look for now. We're walking through this stuff, which we can't really do. We're looking at flat maps and not great detail to know like, is that clearing all brushy or is it clear? So all those things kind of play into, typically we would have access to service and make pivots and recalculate where we're going to be pretty fast and easy. This one's a little bit different.
Yep.
We're literally out here in the middle of nowhere using satellite phones to try to communicate with our wives and fiancés and fellow employees or workers, and you're ordering lights via satellite text.
Yeah.
Zach's making sure his cat is getting fed back home
Heck
via satellite
yeah.
text.
Getting in fights with the other neighborhood cats.
What is it?
Yep.
Chi-Chi what? Chi-Chi Tom.
Chi-Chi Rodriguez.
Cheetah,
Cheetah Bobby.
Cheetah Bobby. Yeah, I like that. I like the Cheetah Bobby. Yeah, the thing is about like the pre-scouting, there is giant bears here. We found one and we saw the poop of a bunch of other ones, and I think it's just time. In reality, I feel like it's just timing.
Yeah. I think 2 weeks earlier, maybe 3.
2-3 weeks earlier, I think that we would have had a very different experience.
Most likely.
There's just, because there was good habitat we found. There was places that we likely, if they weren't solely focused on sows right now, we would have seen more bears. I would guess.
If those are the only good food sources and even just some better weather. Because we were really only seeing bears past like most of the time. Those bears we saw that one evening was after 6:30.
Yeah.
So you have 2.5 hours
Yeah.
of actual like really good viewing. Bear movement. Otherwise it's just hot. Completely baked. They have no reason to be anywhere other than timbered up. Playing with themselves.
Seriously. It was, yeah. It was, we were diligent to be on the glass or be viewing throughout the day, but you just knew in your mind that there was you were likely only going to see something late. And then with the calling, like you pointed out, it's like, man, the calls just don't travel that far. And so you need to set yourself up on a good place where if there's a bear within earshot, they could come in and you could see them and to shoot them before they see. But it's just not going to cover. It's not going to cover 1,000 yards in every direction. You're going to get a few hundred yards maybe. And those clearings, trying to work through those clearings, and man, it was tough. We were working all day. I feel like every day.
Yeah. Did you hear us calling yesterday?
No.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
never saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the call's making it more than maybe 500 yards tops if
Yeah.
you're lucky. If it's
Yeah.
in the timber, it's.
Yeah,
Less.
not that far.
I bet if we called here, you could barely hear it up on that road.
Well,
So it's
Yeah.
just like, without spotting bears or seeing like heavy bear sign, you're just kind of hoping. Just didn't connect.
Yeah. Oh, we got some
we got company.
incoming.
Yeah.
Like fly fishing? Like what are these guys
So-
doing out here? Fly fishing life. Let's do three good things and 3 dumb things. We each get one. Is that cool?
3 good things, 3 dumb things.
Yeah, so three good things, 3 dumb things. So each of you are gonna do one good thing and me, and then we'll each do one dumb thing from this trip.
All right, you started out.
Me started out?
Well, yeah, give us direction.
All right. Well, yeah, it could be anything. It could be product. It could be the landscape we're on, whatever it is. So you can think about that. I'll start it off. I'm gonna say I asked the question, but I didn't have one prepared. But I'm gonna go with. There's a few things. It's gonna be camp related. I'm gonna go with my sleep setup, my tent, my quilt, tent, and sleeping pad.
That's your good thing?
That's my good thing. Yeah. That's
Okay.
my good thing.
This is gear related?
No, it could be anything. Just
Oh,
three.
okay.
Yeah, 3 good things, 3 dumb things.
Okay.
Zach started it a while ago on a few podcasts back on the dumb things, but I figured we'd go a little positive before we go negative. So I'm going to go with my tent. So my tent's a pound. The trekking poles you have to throw in, that's 8 ounces. So that's at 24 ounces. And then my quilt, those quilts are the Stone Glacier quilts, super light. And then the sleeping pad's kind of heavy. It's the Thermarest X Therm. That's about a pound. But in reality, like as comfortable as my sleep system, like I truly enjoy. Again, I'm a gear nerd. I like camp life. Like there's a couple of our campsites I was super stoked on. I could have just hung out there for a few days. We're building fires, and I like my tent. I've used the Stone Glacier Sky Air. I don't fit in that thing sitting up. And getting in and out the front was like terrible. So that's what I was using the past few years, and I finally got the Durston, and I love the thing. Every night I get to use it. I love it. I like my sleeping pad and my quilt, and I like sitting up in the morning. My stove, I'll throw my stove in there too. I like having my coffee outside my little vestibule. The other vestibule's got my pack and all of my gun over there. I love it. That's my good thing. We've talked about it a ton, but that's my good thing. My whole sleep system. How about you?
So my good thing?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us one thing you're thankful for. It's like Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, man.
Nothing worked well for you on this trip.
I got a long list of bad
One
things.
good thing.
Do you have an underwear
Your
company that
second
you
pair
like?
of underwear?
Oh, yeah. One good thing is a solid pair of trousers. I made the mistake of choosing a bad pair to start this trip. And the good pair is Ex Officio.
Yep, ex officio. Yeah,
They're
they
like
sell them at REI and-
antimicrobial,
Yeah,
kind of, I don't know if they're a synthetic, I think. But they breathe nice. You're not as stinky.
they have a stylish enhancing cut. Sorry.
Yeah. Cup. The seams are not as abrasive when you're sweaty. So, yeah, for sure. A good pair of trousers was good because I made the switch.
I made the switch.
And the chafe went away. And then another good thing is to have medical related items. And I had some stuff.
Yeah, Neosporin.
Neosporin, which I don't know if the Neosporin actually did anything, but it was kind of like a Vaseline jelly
Nice.
cover for the chafe that allowed the friction to be less.
Nice.
And I had that, so.
That's a good item that I don't think of, but I do. As far as Vaseline, I didn't think about this till you said it just now. I use cotton ball Vaseline to start the fire, and when I chose to use that stuff, I was like, "Oh, I'll have Vaseline to use for things if you ever need to." But then I forget that it's in there because
Yeah.
I should have offered it to you.
No, my stuff worked.
Nice. Okay, boxers. Zach, what do you got?
My one good thing. I have multiple good things, but
Talk to us about it.
I mean, my one good thing is that there's unlimited tags on rocks. And some good old rock shooting, man. That really turns any day right around.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
For sure. That was like,
shooting rocks, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a glorious
so fun.
part of any mountain hunt. Get out of here, Ant. Yeah, we had a shoot off on the mountain. I beat Jared.
Got me with the long bomb, dude. I was way off. Way off. Not even in the ballpark.
You weren't really shaping up to be an ELR shooter after
No,
that.
dude, I'm not an ELR guy. What was it? What was the distance?
Like 1,200.
Yeah,
something.
it was out there. I'm not really interested in that distance, but I still, it was 12 something. I forget exactly, but I'm like, I think I was holding 2/10 of wind at 500 and 400, and I was very centered up, and I'm like, I cannot see there being less than 9/10 of wind out there at 1,200. There was less than 9/10 of wind. There was close to no wind. And so I was feet off at that distance. Zach missed it by about this much to the right, and I missed it by about this much to the left.
And then you were over here.
Oh, dude, I was just all over the place out there. Yeah, it was not good. So, yeah.
The other good thing, fires. If you're having a bad hunt, build a fire. You'll feel better.
Yeah.
And then the last good thing is just some good old meat on the mountain.
I liked that.
Mule deer not backstrap, but mule deer steaks up there on the mountain. That was a good thing.
Nice. That was just cool because I don't know how far we were in the day that you ate that.
It was like 7 miles.
Pretty far.
Yeah.
8
It was
miles,
about
yeah.
the same distance, though, that we packed it out.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool because it was giant mountain buck from last year. And yeah, it was darn near the same distance that we packed it out. He packed it back in and ate it over
At
a
a
fire.
different mountain. Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, I just thought that was awesome. So that's a fun thing. I'm gonna go first on the bad things. I'm gonna steal Zach's.
Dang it.
I swooped yours. Dude. So on X, I'm sorry, but it just happens so often, and that there's a problem with it. And we're out here. There's no service, like you said.
Yeah.
There's no updating it. I can't delete the app and reinstall it. It happened to Zach first on day 2 or 3, something like that.
Yeah.
Lost all the labels. The topo lines, you can still look at the topo, you can still look at the satellite imagery, and you can look at the hybrid, but all the topo lines, there's no elevations on them. All the creek names are gone. All the trail names are gone. All the labeling is gone. It just disappeared.
Yeah, none of the trail mileages.
All
those
gone.
are all gone. At one point, the screen was just black.
Yep.
The ability to track your location was super unreliable.
Waypoints were just disappearing.
You want to use the line tool? It's an imaginary line. You can
Yeah.
click and drop it, but it doesn't show anything. Even if you save the line, it won't show it.
Yeah.
If you add waypoints, if you zoom out, they go away. If you zoom in, they show up. But if you zoom in too far, they're gone.
Yeah. And what was crazy, so
Brutal.
yours worked for 2 or 3 days, right?
Yeah.
And then stopped working. And mine's still working. So then we were using my phone exclusively to look at where we're going and all that. And then mine just randomly stopped working for no reason whatsoever. I did nothing different with my phone, and they all just disappeared. And my issue with it is, we've got a good idea of how to get around, but it could really screw somebody.
Yeah.
If they're not as familiar with kind of getting themselves around the backcountry, and their labeling goes away, they could easily get lost, and it's really frustrating to me. I tried multiple times to reboot the app, restart my phone, everything I could think of, and again, there's zero cell phone service to delete and reinstall the app. I have no idea, or to update it, anything like that. But my issue is that it was working for days. His worked for 3, mine worked for 5, and then it just stopped working.
Yeah, mine's fully working right now.
Is it really?
And it's just we haven't even had service. It probably has to do with I turn my phone off every day. So I'm sure some days it's well, I'm going to work today. And I'm sure there's some excuse on the back end that it's not Onyx's fault. That was just a really frustrating piece of gear that did not work that well this hunt.
Yeah.
And was just dude. It's just an annoyance that kind of was probably magnified by poor hunting conditions, but it was pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trav, what you
Travis,
got? What you got?
You want to
The bad.
199 first person that
What?
$199.
He's guessing.
Oh, I'm not going to do that.
No?
Well, no, it wasn't. I mean, it's bad, but it's not.
Is it just that when you see the Durst in
Okay,
it?
so what's the bad? The one bad thing.
The one bad thing is not. Well, there's a lot of little bad things, but not being prepared to keep up with Zach and Jared on a hunt. So I'm always looking at your backside, smelling your gas excretions, and seeing you in the distance while trying to film and get shots. And the bad is don't use Champion trousers to start your hunt.
Nice.
Yeah.
The abrasion will drive you crazy.
I would imagine. Doesn't sound great.
And another bad is having the same food every single day.
Mm.
And I would have like mixed it up more during the day, because you set it like Jared was saying. You buy a pack of whatever and you set it out each day. That same bar or same whatever thing of energy bites or whatever, and so you're eating the same thing every day. And you're 8 days in, and you're like, I don't really want to eat anything, or you just want to eat mangoes and. Whew, I think it was Mountain House. That was bad. Jared experienced that yesterday with me. I thought I had maybe Giardia, because we've just been Zach and I have just been drinking straight out of the creeks. Jared filters everything.
I filter everything.
And we give each other a hard time.
I get a rash of crap every time I use my filter, and they're just enjoying life.
Well, I wouldn't have used my filter the whole time. But Travis was like, "You got your steri pen?" And I was like, and I never used it, I guess.
The steri pen?
No, I did use it in the very beginning when you were using it. But then I was like, nah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I had a little scare yesterday. I'm feeling better today. I don't think it's Giardia. I think it's just the case
You would
of
know
choosing
if
a
it's
mountain house
Giardia
the
by
night
now.
before. That's the bad.
Yeah. Yep.
One bad thing. I mean, I don't really want to have to rag on them. I feel like my one bad thing, because it couldn't be the Onyx app, would probably be, even though there's good parts to the Forest Service, the Forest Service is one bad thing.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
The people that I worked with here to see if we needed a film permit, those individuals were great. And there's, like any government agency, there's some great people there. And then there's just serious lack of execution, efficiency, whatever you want to call it, when you're out here. And I know that the government cuts, people were all mad because trail cutters were losing their jobs. I don't remember the last time, and we saw it this trip just like we always do.
Yep.
The last time we hiked any trail that has actually been cleared.
Like
Every single trail. And I get that it's middle, late June, whatever. I don't know when they go clear trail, but these trails have been open for over a month.
Well, and some of it's like
And it's
over 2-3 years old.
We could come back in August and they still wouldn't be cleared.
Yep.
We ran into, illegal ATV use.
Yep.
And trail cutting. And I don't know if the Forest Service put it up, but just a little half-ass sign that says, "Don't cut this wood, $1,000 fine," instead of actually trying to find the people, which it couldn't be that hard to find the people. There were gates that we wanted to, where there's road closures. June 15th is when it opens. That's pretty standard road opening, for a lot of Forest Service areas in the mountains. And get to that gate on the 15th, and it's closed. Come out today on the 17th, still closed.
Yep.
Oh, what do you know? There's an obvious, you could get a small truck around the gate. Apparently, you can just get around the gate anytime unless you're a law-abiding citizen in a truck.
Yep.
Who knows when they're going to go open that gate? It's our forest. They're the ones that manage it. If you're going to have a closure for some reason, which who knows why there's the closure, be on the ball on opening the gates up.
Yeah.
It's like, that's your one job, is to provide access into the forest.
Yep.
Well, not to mention.
And I mean, the one trail we hiked out was right by like a Forest Service work center.
Yep.
And we saw that when we had that mule deer tag in Montana. Huge, giant Forest Service work center in the bottom of this drainage. Rampant ATV behind gate access. No management upstream of the work center. It just feels like just your standard government agency that's just like so inefficient. It just feels like, do people even work?
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I've seen a Forest Service person like out on any of my hunts, driving around doing anything.
I don't.
You know, none of the outhouses at these campsites have been serviced unless it's been serviced by a private individual. I don't know. That's my one bad thing.
Well, it was literally every single gate that was closed, and some of them we went to before the 15th, so we were okay with them obviously being closed.
It to be closed, yeah.
But every single gate that was closed that was going to open on the 15th had an ATV or even a UTV size trail around the gate that looks like it's been used for years and years and years.
Yeah.
No one's done anything about it. And so it's just like it defeats the purpose of having even it gated. And why is it gated? It didn't specify, but it's like if you're not going to put something there to actually block people from doing that or enforcing that, why not just leave those gates open? Yeah. People are going back there anyways. Yep. The one spot, we found like a bait site basically where they built a blind. They had been driving in there, I'm sure, for the last month, just hauling in behind the closed gate, just these people, a four-wheeler or a UTV, dropping their bait right there at the end of the road. Yep. No one else is going in there, and they're just hunting it.
Well, not even at the end of the road. They were going up the single track, hiking and horseshoes.
Oh yeah, they took their four-wheeler up the actual hiking portion of the trail.
Turned a single track into a 2-track.
Yeah.
And that they don't. And are the bait sites registered with them? Or are they aware of? Do they have to?
I don't know how that works.
Okay, so however it is, I would imagine that it's an outfitter because this spot is so far from anything, and it wouldn't make sense that some dude's driving in after work to restock his bait or whatever. I would imagine it's an outfitter.
I don't know.
Whatever it is, it wouldn't be hard for them to figure out, like you said, and it was frustrating.
Put a trail camera there and then come back and check it. And
just how many places was there boulders like this big?
I was just gonna say
where like.
Boulders
just sitting there.
Just in the road.
And you can see the path's been around it for months and months.
Yeah. And there's that work site right down the road. That's my biggest issue is they're right down the road.
And hey, someone got the weed whacker out and weed whacked some grass in front of a bridge that crossed the river. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
That was important.
It was helpful.
That was so helpful that the grass was trimmed down by the pack bridge.
Yeah. My issue is there's a lot of people complaining about Doge. There's a lot of people that voted differently than we likely did that are complaining about Doge and all this. And it's like, dude, this is years and years in the making. It's all the Biden administration. It's been forever, and it's frustrating because it's a lack of leadership, accountability, just work ethic. And because the issues in the trails, these are not this year's down trees. This is, I would say, 3 or 4 years worth of down trees that aren't getting cleared. And the only time they get cleared is when an outfitter goes in there and he does it to get clients in and out.
Yeah.
It's the only time you see clearing. At least that's the only time I see clearing.
We had someone had rode their dirt bike on a trail they weren't supposed to ride it on, which that's pretty normal. The Forest Service might not be able to catch that super easy.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Yeah. I don't want the Forest Service out here being Big Brother, but they could just check the boxes on the most basic functions of keep the roads open and nice. If there's campsites that are established, maintain the outhouses so people aren't pooping in the woods.
Yeah.
Get the rocks out of the roads. If you're going to restrict or change access, be on the ball when it opens and closes. Yep. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, 'cause that's my always thing, like in business or anything. When you create an expectation, simply meet it. You've created the expectation, so you meet the expectation that you've created. So we have an expectation that they created that it's going to be open on the 15th. Mm-hmm. And we get there on the 15th and it's not open. Mind you, it was a Sunday. Well, probably should have sent somebody out on Friday to open it. And then we get back on Tuesday and it's still closed. It was like, well, where was everybody on Monday? Again, they're right down the road.
Yeah.
That's my biggest, they're not driving 100 miles. They're right down the road and they didn't open any of these gates. And they created the expectation. They didn't meet it. I think that's reasonable for us to be upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, it's just an annoyance.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to plan anything and it's hard to rely on that data, and it's hard to even have an understanding of why did you even spend the money to put in a gate here.
If we knew where that road was going to be closed and gated, when we first got here, we probably wouldn't have went up there to start the hunt. I mean, it does impact your hunt.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who knows
'cause-
if it's for the good or the bad, but it has an impact. And it's nice to just be able to, when you've invested a bunch of time and money to come all the way over here, to just understand where I can and can't go.
Yep.
That's all I want.
Well, and it added like 3 miles each way
Yeah.
on that one location.
And it's frustrating to, hike a road for no other reason when basically all other access can drive it year round
Yeah,
for no real good reason.
for sure.
And then there's illegal cutting and trail use at the end of it. And
Yeah.
you're just like, well, sweet. We just hiked for an hour and a half to get to here. To then keep going and going hunting,
Yeah.
which it could have paid off still, but
Yeah.
that's my one bad thing.
Yeah, that's not the thing that's stopping us from being successful. It
No.
is just, like I said, it's just
annoying.
it's an annoyance
Yeah.
for sure. So as you guys, I'm enjoying being around the two of you because you've spent so much time creating films, and what I'm curious from you guys, just totally shifting gears here, on creating films, on creating content. What is your end goal that you are trying to provide to the end viewer? Like, what is it that you're trying, like, we're creating like a hunt film, we're creating a bunch of shorts. Like, what is it that what are you trying to do with all of this? Like, from the beginning, when you guys first started creating content till now, has it changed? Is it the same? Is it the same big goal? Like, is there what is the reason that you guys do this? Does that make sense?
What's the
That
reason?
was a really,
I know
that
it's
wasn't a
confusing.
super pointed question.
It's not
but
super pointed, but like, what's your end goal with creating content? What are you hoping? What is the overall goal that you're hoping to accomplish with it?
I just want to get people inspired to go out and have an adventure.
Yeah, you want to inspire people to go out and have an adventure, but you also want it to be like the highest stimulating visuals that someone could find within the industry while doing it. Like, you want to do it exceptionally well. Because if you just want to inspire people to get outside, you could just go show them
I'd say
you're
that
doing
it's
cool stuff.
a good production value without significantly altering the ability to hunt the way we would without cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we were trying to do it at the highest visual level, we wouldn't have done the hunt we just did.
No.
You just can't.
Yep.
So yeah, I think we try to represent hunting and fishing in a positive light for anyone who watches it, from a 2-year-old to a 85-year-old person, whatever. And then we try to film it at a high level. I mean, I think God did a pretty good job out here designing some stuff. I'd have a few questions for him about maybe like why he made mosquitoes, but we try to show people what's out here because it is super cool. And people should do this kind of stuff. I mean, especially now more than ever when people are just glued to screens, from their TVs to their phones to their laptops to their iPads. It's like, go disconnect. I mean, obviously we've used our phones for communicating with our loved ones and navigating, but that's pretty much it. And Jared played chess. I've played some Minesweeper.
Playing chess. So with the overarching goal of inspiring others to get outdoors, and then we set lofty goals for ourselves with, like, we wanted to come over and shoot 4 bears, and maybe we'd turn up a wolf. And it's like there's this definition of success is oftentimes killing things, and that has not happened yet on this. How does that influence the decision making around the film storyline, where we still want to inspire others to get outdoors, to come out and hunt bears? They may not be successful either, right? Like, how does that goal influence your storytelling? of inspiring others, but still telling a true story of how this happened. Is that too much of a...
It's a brain twister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, because there's definitely people here. I'll just go a little deeper on the explanation of the question, but there's definitely people in the hunting industry that are not as regularly successful, right? We could probably list some people, and they have hunts oftentimes that they post that they're not successful. They don't kill an animal. There's other people that have bent the rules because getting the animal killed is the end all be all, right? And like I don't like to cast too much judgment. Sometimes I probably sound super negative, and I don't mean to be, but I don't want to cast too much judgment on which is the right way. Like guys that are like do anything to kill, and other guys it's just like it's not that important to the story. I think that we all like to be successful on a hunt film, right? We want to kill something. We want to show the shot and the process of cutting it up and the pack out and all that. Well, it hasn't happened yet on this hunt, and if it doesn't happen, we still like how okay are you with a hunt film that doesn't end up with a kill, and how valuable is it to you to tell that story and with the goal of still inspiring others to get out?
Yeah, I mean, well, this is the Keep It Real podcast, so occasionally there's a little bit of judgment,
Yeah, for sure.
or it sounds like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
from coming, but it's also about partially of keeping it real. Things we do like, things we don't like. I mean, it's just relatable to come out and show how it happened when it's not successful. For us, I shouldn't say we are, but for projects like this, they're like, it's not just the hunt film that's important. And however it turns out, I'm sure it'll be great. But we're shooting so many things around the hunt that even those things are a success.
yep.
So we're kind of like multiple channel. I mean, we're shooting tons of photos for you guys, for other companies, you guys are sharing a bunch of knowledge that we're capturing that's going to be helpful for people when they go out and try to do a hunt like this. We're trying to shoot some relatable comedy shorts,
Some fun content.
which we haven't seen too much of. So there's a lot of different ways, like still make it a success from like a shooting and a media standpoint. And I mean, there's always like a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
This one's still TBD. It might just turn into a fishing film.
Yeah.
For sure.
But that's what makes this so hard. Like, I mean, we didn't see a single hunter out here hiking. And no one's out here doing this, where it's like we're coming to a new location. I mean, we've been to this general area, but we're not going to the same spots we've hunted in the past. Everything's new. It's exploratory. We're not guaranteed a kill. We know that's a possibility. You guys are like high level, like on the hunting experience side. So like if anyone's going to kill something, it's probably you guys. But sometimes it's just everything's not working in your favor, and do our best to capture all those things and moments that are still really cool and exciting and fun about being out here, and hopefully we can show that and find, little nuggets here and there that will inspire people to come out and do this, even if we weren't successful in killing.
Like, is the story valuable is it as valuable to inspire others without a kill as a hunt that when there is a kill? Do you see, like, over the years of it, have you put out hunt films where you've not been successful?
No, it's not as valuable.
Not as
It's
valuable.
not as valuable. It's just not. I mean, for what we're doing, it's not like it's like the story of my grandpa and he died and he left me this gun and I'm out here to relive, my memory of him or something. It's like, it's just, we're bros going bear hunting. Like, the story is enhanced by us killing bears
For
for
sure.
this application.
Yep.
Which in general, for most of what we do, yes, it's totally okay to not kill stuff because that happens all the time. It's just, it's not a zero cost ball game when we make film projects and try to do it well, from the camera gear to his time to our time to the gear to the food to the travel to the gas to the editing to the all the things, right? Like, so yeah, you want to, the more times we kill in films, like the better for, like, that's why people want to watch hunting films for the most part. So yeah, if we're trying to inspire people, like, killing stuff helps the cause.
For sure.
Well, and
Because
it's
more
almost,
people want to watch it. Like, it'll still be a cool film. Like, I just went and hunted with Brandon, but it's like, and he didn't kill a bear. It's just, people want to see you be successful. That's why they watch these things.
For sure.
well, and it's also like, it's almost like the reward of like all the hard work put in during this trip just makes it that much better.
Yeah.
Where it's like we worked our butts off, but if there's no reward, it's a little harder, you know.
Yeah.
And we are here to manage bears and wolves.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, and that's I also feel a obligation to our partners that have helped sponsor or support us on this, right?
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I think we've pivoted a bit with the shorts. Like, we still want to provide value to them. We want to be, like, honor our commitments and that. And, like, killing animals on film makes that easier because it is going to get the views. Like, they just naturally get clicks and views because in goal when you're getting support from manufacturers is they're trying to sell more products, and getting clicks definitely probably helps with that. I hope that just our authenticity, trying to be honest, will also help with that a bit. But yeah, hopefully.
You can't control. It's out of your control, you know, when you're putting in the work.
Yeah, it just feels like bear hunting's one that you should be able to not control, but you should be able to kill a bear.
Yeah.
At this stage of the game, at least in my opinion of my skill set, like, have a week, you should be able to kill a bear. So
Yeah.
definitely is not a blow to the ego. It's just like the rage against bears is burning.
Yeah. 100%. Next spring's going to be trouble for the old bears. I think.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really been doing that hot for a few years now. I mean, I killed a bear last year, but I mean, that's every year, the timing, the going to different locations. Like, sometimes you do really well and sometimes
Yeah.
it's tough.
For sure. Trying to time the green up. Now this has been a good learning lesson for me because I've hunted them too early before. I've hunted them just right before. I've never hunted them too late. this too late's I won't be planning around this time of year in the future.
Yeah. It is a tough time.
Yep.
For sure.
It can be good if you can hunt enough high country. It's just like this high country is too, the snow's been off of it for too long.
For sure.
You can't, there's almost no snow on the very, very, very top of the mountain.
Yeah.
So it's
been
tough.
green for a long time. It's just green everywhere. In the trees, out of the trees, there's just green everywhere.
And the brush is already like grown over your head
Yeah.
up there. So it's definitely been green.
Yeah. There's some good huckleberry spots up there if anybody wants to hike in 9-ish miles or so. There's just
Yeah.
huckleberry bushes everywhere.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment. We'll send you a pin. Fill up those gallon bags of hucks.
If you want to set a bait site about 8 miles in, we got some really good spots.
About 12-hour drive from Bozeman, and 9 miles in. Forest Service doesn't check on.
You probably build a road all the way to the top.
Bring your dozer in here. Yeah, build us a road. Take advantage of it next year.
Just be prepared to climb some logs or cut some logs out on your way first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
All right.
hundreds.
hundreds. My God, we went over some. My hip flexors stopped going up at one point. I was dragging my toes across every log. I just got sick of doing this. Yeah. All right, we're gonna do some fishing. I think we turned this into a fishing
I'm ready
film.
to go fishing. And
Let's do it. What are we throwing? Are we still on the dry game? Throwing dries?
yeah,
Stimulators? What are you throwing? Hoppers?
tries.
Just whatever floats on top.
Whatever I feel like.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe another couple days we'll do a drive home podcast.
Yep, pinch your barbs.
See how things went. This is a pinch your barbs spot to you?
Yep.
All this is. Okay. Pinch your barbs.
You got to really treat the fish with respect. And your barbs.
I realized on the last one, I realized I was just like, huh, yeah, and then I freaking snap it out there, and I was like about breaking my fly off, and I just need to be a little bit more delicate.
Finesse it.
Today, I'm going to be a little more delicate because I was like, yeah, and then it would just snap out and then pop back, and I was like, and I've got 40 feet of line out, and the fly's 20 feet from me.
That's
gonna
a
be-
snapback.
We're going to be a little gentler today.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See ya next time, huh?
Next time.
Next time.